Yokoso, 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 arigato gozaimasu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's episode 111, ladies and gentlemen, of the Stadia Monday Night Chat with me, your host. Thank you very much. I hope you are well. Of course, it's Memorial Day in the US, so I don't want to say, you can't really sort of say Happy Memorial Day. My thoughts are with you for those that take time out for Memorial Day over there on the other side of the pond in the US and all of that. As ever, we have all the Stadia news, all the latest Stadia games, and of course, much, much more. And of course, as I always say, this show is nothing without you, ladies and gentlemen. It is nothing without chat. Although in fairness, I do all the work. But anyway, that to one side, make sure you say hello in the chat and all of that. Of course, let me know what games you've been playing. And of course, it's Stadia Pro this week. So let me know, what do you think will the Stadia Pro games be this week? What do you think they're going to be? We've made some predictions on this show. For instance, My Little Pony, for some reason. I think it was because it was beginning of February or end of May and then beginning of February, end of May and then beginning of June. So that was a prediction. And then maybe one of the titles that is coming up in the news, given the date of its release, could be a Stadia Pro title as well. Anyway, as I say, get involved, say hello in the chat. Let me know what games you've been playing. Let me know what your Stadia Pro predictions are for June, etc. And we can talk about that. Yeah, we can talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I forget, of course, remember to hit the likes. Why? Well, I'm going to tell them why. As I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps amazingly brilliant, like-minded people like you find this awesome Stadia content. And if you are new here, of course, do me the massive courtesy of hitting that subscribe button. Yeah? Toggling that notification bell so you know when I go live with amazing content like this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay then. I think it's early bird chat time, yeah? Early bird chat time. Let's see who is in line for the early bird offers this week in chat. Say hello to everybody in chat before we get going with the show. Jerome, on form there, back to form. Jerome used to always be one of the first in the chat, and here he is. Been playing Elemental War 2, World War Z, and Madden 22. Living in fantasy land there. But we can all dream, eh, can't we, Jerome? It's Clive O'Clock. Of course it is Clive O'Clock. Mr. Bayron plays. Hype! Let's temper the hype. But yeah, good. I like your attitude, Andy. You know, I'm needing it today. You know, I was approaching the show thinking, yeah, it's not a lot of news. You know, my mood wasn't quite there. Weekend didn't quite go as I'd expected. Never mind. But it's seeing stuff like this in chat, which is giving me that oomph, yeah? MJ Parks. Oh, MJ. Banned off Twitter again. Tetris. Well, that's the thing, Jerome, you see. A good game is a game that you enjoy. Okay? It doesn't have to be a AAA game. It doesn't have to be a game that millions of people enjoy. A good game is subjective, and a good game is something that you enjoy. So Tetris, far away. Sednar is listening. MJ Parks is always listening. Alex, how are you there? Bri, this is such a wonderful part of my week now, lol. Great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you. Jeremy, hello. Tally Darkstar. Inled, stay tuned. You might get a shout out. Oh, spoiler alert. Jamie Lee, how are you? Hey, peace, brother Simpleton there. Hey. Yeah, it's a holiday here. He's in the front row. That's great to see. Yeah, this is the, you know, enjoy your holiday. Get in the front row. Get in the mosh pit. Yeah, ready to catch me on a stage dive. Oh, bright. The game of Ghost Recon Wildlands has me right now. We have some news on Ghost Recon. Is it the Wildlands or the other one? I can't remember. What's your favourite game? ever? Hard to say. Stadia, I have to say, I found Red Dead Redemption 2 emotional. I found it an emotional journey. So off the top of my head, I really enjoyed playing through that. But there are loads of other games that I really enjoyed. But just off the top of my head, Jamie Lee with the spoilers there. Yes, we'll be coming to that. Don't worry. But it's exciting news. Exciting news. And I'll tell you why. There's an added level of excitement if you look into it a bit more. Jack D is excited about that, which is always great. Down in the mosh pit. Ron Slusher, Johnny Robot, and all of that. It's lovely to see you all. And last week we had a great turnout for the live show, so really appreciate that. And if you can't catch it live, that's all right. You can catch up. That is the beauty of YouTube and all of that, ladies and gentlemen. What have I been playing? I'm glad you asked. I didn't. Shut up. I'm going to tell you. Far Cry Primal. Yeah, I quite enjoy. It feels a bit different. I mean, I know that doesn't feel such a sort of as strong a story, which is fine in Far Cry Primal, as in, say, the more recent Far Cry 5 and Far Cry 6. I quite like going around, attacking tribes, killing woolly mammoths, finding things, setting fire to people's camps, because you're meant to, not because I'm mean. Yeah, and it's quite a sort of a nice game, and it looks great on Stadia, especially on the old LG C1 app. It looks fantastic, even though the game's quite old, really. Still looks amazing. So that is taking up most of my time, with the occasional, as I say, dip back to Cars 8. I still haven't played City Skylines yet. I'm sort of a bit nervous about whether I'm going to like it or not, or getting involved in it. Don't know. Maybe I will take a dip. But before you know it, it's going to be the Stadia Pro games. And we can talk about that later when we come to chat and sort of decide what we think is going to be in the Stadia Pro titles, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Let's just clear the chat there. Right. I think it's news time, ladies and gentlemen. Quick hello to Geek the Sneak. Hey, sup everybody. Hello, Geek. Right. As I said, I think let's do the news, shall we? It's time to visit Clive over in the Stadia Monday Night Chat news studio. Clive, are you ready? You are good. Clive, it's over to you in the Stadia Monday Night Chat news studio. Thanks, Clive. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat news for the 30th of May, 2022. Last week, Stadia announced 3 new games, or is that 7 in a blog post? One game we knew about, one has been teased about by the publisher, and one, or is that 4, was a complete surprise. Kicking off with Through the Darkest of Times, a game which we'd said might be coming to Stadia on this very show, has now been confirmed by Stadia and lands on the 1st of June. Pro title, possibly? Through the Darkest of Times is from Handy Games, who brought us El Hiyo, A Wild West Tale, and the brilliant Chicken Police Paint It Red. In the game, you're the leader of a small resistance group in 1933's Berlin of ordinary people, from Jews to Catholics, communists to patriots, who simply can't stand aside and watch. Your goal is to deal small blows to Hitler's regime, dropping leaflets to spread awareness about what the Nazis are really up to among the people, painting messages on walls, sabotaging, gathering information and recruiting more followers. And all of that while staying undercover. If the regime's forces learn about your group, the life of each member is in grave danger. Wired Productions teased a game for Stadia this week on Twitter, and many of the community went about guessing what it may be. Wired Productions has made it clear they want to bring as many games to Stadia as possible, so it comes as no surprise that Those Who Remain has been announced and is coming in July. Again, we've already speculated that this game was coming to Stadia on this show. Those Who Remain places you in an up-close psychological horror story set in the sleepy town of Dormant, a town in a spiralling split from the fabric of reality, walked by darkness and the deeds of the citizens who reside. Some mistakes should never happen, not when your life is complete, and yet they do. Edward had the good life, a beautiful wife and the perfect little girl, yet finds himself several whiskies down and driving through the night of dormant to end his secret affair in a bid to fix his mistakes. And finally, the surprise package is a side-scrolling platformer Mighty Switch Force Collection, which is in fact 4 separate games. This is from Way Forward, another publisher with Stadia experience. The collection consists of Mighty Switch Force, Mighty Switch Force 2, Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition, and Mighty Switch Force Academy. Yes, you can now switch up the fun with 4 games in one as cybernetic peacekeeper Officer Patricia Wagon. You'll use your platforming skills, puzzle-solving abilities, and special level-altering siren helmet to protect the people of Planet Land and smash enemies into the screen. This one is marked down as coming soon. So there you go. That is the Stadia Monday Night Chat news for today. So it's back to Clive in the studio. Clive, over to you. Is that it? Yeah? That's it. I said, is that it? Is that the news? Yeah. Is that all there was? The Stadia news? Yeah. Really, is that all you've got? What? Oh. It's a bit short this week, isn't it? I'm just saying. That's all I'm just saying. I'm just telling him. It's a bit short this week. What Stadia Pro titles? Yeah. In fairness, yeah. We were hoping Stadia Pro titles might have been announced even today, but of course Memorial Day. So yeah, we were you and me both, son, were hoping about the Stadia Pro titles. Anyway, here's some good news, ladies and gentlemen. Here's some good news straight off hot off the presses, as they say. I've gone all never mind. It's only Fools and Horses reference I was going to go then. Marlene. No, here we go. Yes. 314 Arts here. We are happy to announce. Let's there we are. It is big. We are happy to announce that 314 Arts, apparently, right? Those that listen to Fourscar's gaming interviews with them, apparently 314 is, I think it's to do with Pi 3.14. Anyway, 314 Arts is now an official Google Stadia developer. Whoop, whoop. That means our upcoming games will also release on the Stadia platform. Yeah, but Clive, who are 314 Arts? Who are they then? Well, I'll let you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. 314 Arts. We are 314 Arts, providing some awesome visual designs for gaming and bringing your visions to life. But let's go to the games. That's what you want to know. What are the games, Clive? What are the games? Well, I'm going to tell you. View the games. Here we go. So they are the developer behind Project Z. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Project Z. So, of course, Project Z, they launched as a Kickstarter campaign where they were trying to, within 30 days, trying to get to $100,000. Now, they cancelled that Kickstarter campaign last week, I think it was, or a couple of weeks ago, because they missed their target, or they didn't think they were going to get to their target. But they weren't too concerned about it because they were in talks. Yeah, in talks about the game. So have no fear. So as it turns out, there you go. They were in talks or finalizing stuff, clearly, with Stadia. Could it be a Stadia exclusive? I mean, if I was Stadia, you know, 314 Arts need the money. They just want to make the game. That's what they don't want to necessarily make, you know, massive profit. I mean, everybody wants to make a profit, but if you're an upstarting, you know, indie, You just want to make the game and be paid for it, not have to worry about it. It's their passion project. They just want to know they can make the game without worrying about the rent. So, you know, if I was Stadia, I'd go, there you go. You make the game, give it to us exclusively for a period of time, and you don't have to worry about your rent. Anyway, but then again, they do say in the tweet, in fairness, we'll also release on the, means our upcoming games will also release on the Stadia platform. I mean, obviously it was a PC game, so they could just mean that. But anyway, but also interestingly there, ladies and gentlemen, interestingly, if we go back here, look at the release date. Now, I know it's only a placeholder, but look at the release date, ladies and gentlemen. 2024. Yes, a Stadia game for 2024. Yes, 2024. 2024. 2024. Sorry. I was just thinking back to when someone said Stadia would be shut by August 2021. What a jokester. August 2021. Yeah, they said it. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Yes. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, this is very much thanks to the Stadia community and the whole, proving that the hashtag bring it to Stadia works. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was the Stadia community that kind of said to Project Z, have you considered Stadia? And got behind it and promoted it on Reddit, well, so yeah, exactly. Bring it to Stadia works, ladies and gentlemen. This is an example of how it can work. So in your face Reddit, all the comments, I remember when certain people put certain bring it to Stadia games on Reddit. What's the point? I don't know why you're doing that. What's the point of bringing it to Stadia? They should just bring it to Stadia anyway. Why would you want to do that? What's the point? They're not going to bring it. It's never going to work. They're not going to reach their target. Why should we help the development? Yeah, that's you, Reddit. Yeah, you. Yeah. It's you, Reddit. In your face. Bring it to Stadia. Works. Yeah. Anyway. Back to Stadia Pro. I do think Stadia is experimenting a little bit with how they announce the Stadia Pro titles. Or maybe it's just timing with Memorial Day and the way that it falls. Normally, you'd say the week before, maybe it was too far before. Then they thought, well, we'll do it Monday, but Monday's a Memorial Day. I don't know. Anyway, they don't normally announce the day before, although I think they have done it once before. Not that I'm bothered, to be honest. To be honest, who cares, really? We can be logical and pragmatic about it. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with Stadia not telling us. And us just finding on the 1st of June, like Christmas Day. Yeah, you don't know what presents you're going to get, but you're going to get them on Christmas Day, if you've been good boys and girls. And then you open them up and it's a surprise. Oh, Mum, well, you got the wrong game, Mum. Oh. Ungrateful little person. Anyway, yeah, you make it a surprise. So I'd be cool with that if they just said, hey, it's June. Here are your Stadia Pro games. Play away. You get to play with your prezzies right away rather than having to wait for them. There's no logical reason, in my opinion, to finding out early other than some misplaced self-entitlement that we need to know these things. We must know. I want to know. I need to know before the 1st of June. Otherwise, Stadia's dead. They've not told me. Yeah, or you're just excited and you can't wait. Fine, anticipation, a little bit of hype, maybe. But that anticipation and hype could still exist if they just announced them on the 1st of June, really. It's the same difference. We've just got used to knowing ahead of time. Anyway, equally, last month, they announced it in a press release rather than the blog. And I got into an argument with some doofus who said, yeah, it's not official. It's not official. If it wasn't on the Stadia blog, it's not official. I said, that's an official press release from Stadia. Yeah. An official press release from Stadia is not official. What? It's the very definition of official. Yeah. It's official news. That is how corporations disseminate the news. In a official press release, which they give to the press and say, you report it. Anyway, like I've said before, don't argue with idiots as they bring you down to their level and then just beat you with experience. Anyway, perhaps, we are due this week on Stadia, tomorrow, Tuesday. So maybe we'll hear there. And for those, of course, so it might be on the This Week on Stadia blog. And for those of you who can't read, yeah, you could just watch the Rock Show and see a man literally just read it out, if you want to do that as well. But just joking. But it has been a quiet week when you look at things. But there is always the danger of looking at things in narrow slices, as I've said. If you look at the last 10 days, there have been 10 plus games announced for Stadia. It's one a day, really. Think about it, roughly. So don't forget that. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Stadia Pro titles, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Always join in with the chat on the Rock Show tomorrow if they're going to do it. It's always very exciting to see four guys down the pub talking about the games. Right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, how to respond to issues. Let's talk about Stadia Reddit again. You'll never find a place full of more villainy or scum. We must watch ourselves there. It seems, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that there is a problem with Ghost Recon saves on Stadia. Now, that is an unfortunate issue, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it is an unfortunate issue, especially if you've piled many hours into the game, as many people have, and it should be addressed. Absolutely. No doubt. I'd be annoyed if I'd lost my saves in a game for whatever reason. It happens, you know, like when your Xbox might have bricked. You know, I've got a couple of bricked Xboxes. Yeah, all they're good for now are doorstops. Yeah, happens. Or when you have a publisher might have server issues. Occasionally, issues and bugs happen. Yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it needs to be raised and dealt with ASAP. Yeah, you need to raise it in the right places, get it dealt with. But perhaps not on Reddit, ladies and gentlemen, may I suggest. My Ghost Recon Breakpoint save is gone. Now, that is unfortunate, as I said. Not sure if it's a Stadia problem or an Ubisoft problem. Fair enough. Has this happened to anyone else? Fair enough. Good question to ask. I went to start playing, blah, blah, blah. I put 90 hours into it and now it's all gone. Fair enough. Legitimate complaint. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for your submission. Blah, blah, blah. Send more details to the official Stadia troubleshooter. You're not alone in this. And there's another Reddit entry here. It's happened to the whole Stadia play base of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So it is clearly an issue. And Wolfleaf here, the OP. Phew, not just me. Good grief. I'll come back to this update for everyone. And then I'm not restarting my game. Fair enough. I've got a few other Stadia games. I'm leery about starting any other long ones. Yeah, never start again. That's it. Never start another game ever again. Don't, because, you know, one bug, one issue, it's going to affect everything. Yeah. I'm going to play Guilt because it's an exclusive and sounds not super long, but after that, I'm not even sure. Yeah, never touch Stadia again. Ever. Never touch it again. This is unacceptable. Yes, it is unfortunate. They honestly should offer refunds for this if they cannot fix. It's such a massive screw up on their part. They're irreplaceable, these saves. I don't own that. I don't own that game. So it doesn't affect you then. But do play some Wildlines. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that's the mild one. That's the mild Reddit entry. I remember people saying you don't have to worry about things like save file corruption with Stadia because everything's on the cloud. But hey, shit can happen everywhere. Yeah, well, true. That's fair enough. I'm being harsh on that one. That's reasonable. I really hope this is a fixable issue. This is the first time vanishing on Stadia. Of course, it can happen across all platforms. I'll keep two. That's fine. Shouldn't have done a bad voice for that one. That's fine. It can happen on all platforms. Yeah, I remember sketchy quality saves on original PlayStation 1 and 2 memory cards. Anyway, there you go. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is Stadia are aware. That is the point. And I'll show you. Stadia's rubbish. Couldn't find the really bad. Bryant, the Ghost Recon story. Oh, it's a story now, is it, Bryant? It's a story, yeah? File that story and have it ready by Monday for the press. Roll the press. It's a story. It's a bug, yeah? It's an issue. It's a story. It's not a story. The Ghost Recon situation is really concerning. And here we are from Google, Basil Sabar, product manager, Google. Agreed. Yes. We are investigating the saves are cloud-based and not in our direct control. Okay. But Google are aware. Brian said, this is good to hear. Once I lost over 6 months of progress on Arc back in the day. Different platform. And totally understand how these things are never intentional. Hope you all get it figured out soon. We all do, Brian. Fair enough. Where did you get the idea that it's a story? Though, Brian, yeah, where did you get that idea that you perpetuated there? Where did you get that idea? I don't know. That's really strange. Where would you get an idea that it's an actual story? That's very strange. It's an issue that needs to be resolved, you know. So say about the issue, what's being done, Stadia are aware of it. Let's hope they can fix it, especially for all the people who put hours and hours in it, into the game. But I think that's how you respond. Let me just go. There's another one here. One of the people who raised the issues. Before I come back to that. Here we go. Alexander Smith. My Ghost Recon save on Google Stadia has disappeared. Anyone else? Over 150 hours. I'd be annoyed 150 hours. Fair enough. And he asks Ubisoft Sports Stadia. Well, he doesn't even, yeah. And Stadia come back. Yeah, we're sorry to hear about that. We're well aware of this. Our team's already looking into it. We have no time frame to give. We understand it's important to resolve this in timely manner, and we appreciate your patience. Alexander Smith says, thank you for getting back to me. Hopefully you can resolve this issue. Exactly. Stadia says, you're welcome. We'll be here if you have any other questions. That, yeah, that's how you deal with it. And, you know, Stadia responded, and there was also a response from Ubisoft. I did see elsewhere saying, yeah, we are also aware of the problem and looking into it. So they are aware of the issue, ladies and gentlemen. That's the key thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. As I said, it is an issue that needs to be resolved. Is it a story? Let's summarize. Let's summarize it, shall we? Game has bug on Stadia. Okay, yeah. Stadia and Ubisoft are aware. Yeah, okay. And they're looking into it. Okay. Looks like it's at Ubisoft's end. Okay. Watch this space. Well, that's it. With over 200 plus games on the platform, it's not a headline maker in any sense of the imagination, any sense. I mean, you know, at a push, report on it, you know, mention it on, by the way, yeah. but you'd have to have a real skewed sense of things to kind of put it in a headline. I mean, who would put it in a headline, you know, or a tweet or anything like that? I mean, who would do that? I don't know. Try and sort of jam it into their headline or tweet, squeeze it in, you know, like Emperor Commodus or whatever his name is in Gladiator, you know, just having a little sneaky jab, yeah, a little sneaky jab when no one's looking, you know. You do realize he's the villain of that film, by the way, if that's the sort of way you deal with life. Anyway, I'm sure that no reputable tech site would do anything like that, because it would just be darn right petty, wouldn't it? Oh, let me just unhighlight that bit. Minute there. I didn't mean to that. Anyway, it is an issue. It needs to be resolved. Let's hope they can fix it, iron it out. If they can't, it's an absolute those people who've spent all that time on Ghost Recon and everything. But Stadia are aware of it. Ubisoft are aware of it. It is recognized as an issue, looking into it. Do you know, I used to do a whole Reddit rant on a weekly basis for members only. Yeah. Members only. Who's for me bringing that back? Yeah. Who's for me bringing that back? Told you a bit of a cheeky mood today. Right. Publishers and developers. Let's ask an expert. Let's ask an expert. I'm not drunk. Let's ask an expert about latency. Yeah. One of the, you know, debates and the great thing about the Stadia controller connects by wireless. Google, Stadia will never work. We've heard all that. It'll never work. Latency will be too great or whatever. And of course, and then there's that counter argument. Of course, most people don't set up their TVs properly anyway. So there's an extra, if you're playing on your native console, there's an extra 20 plus milliseconds, if not more, depending on what TV you've got, latency in your TV. Plus, there's actually latency in your controller, which is why arguably connecting it direct by Wi-Fi is a good move. A good move. Anyway, a developer tweeted out about this, and I'm going to share it with you here, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Martin van der Meulen. For sure, I'm assuming he's Dutch. Studio co-founder and development director at SnapFingerClick, previously Electronic Arts, PlayStation, also a BAFTA member for gaming and stuff. So I think let's just assume he knows what he's talking about, yeah? Based on that very tiny CV in his Twitter bio, yeah? EA, PlayStation, BAFTA member. I think he knows what he's talking about, yeah? Speaking as a game developer with experience of developing cloud-streamed games, there are third-party controllers for console that have more latency than when Stadia has. Stadia's tech is incredibly robust. And what he's talking about here, the reason he raised it is because there's speculation about Microsoft bringing out a dongle so that maybe they could then connect their controller via Wi-Fi. But it was just interesting to read. If you ever come across those sort of arguments that, it's too much latency, it never worked. Here's another counter argument to point out to people. Not only is there latency, depending on how you set your TV up, I'm talking about console playing here, there's latency in controllers. And here is confirmed by a developer who with experience of creating games and creating games that are streamed. So I just thought it was very interesting to share that. Let me know whether you think what you think about Xbox bringing a dongle. Looks like they've kicked it into the long grass. To me, I think it's a bit pointless. But then I also think the Stream Deck is no, the Steam Deck was pointless. So it goes to show how much I know. But I guess I underestimated the sort of appetite for that, for mobile PC gaming on that one. But for me, it's a bit pointless. What they need to do is bring out a smart TV app. This is xCloud. That's what they need to concentrate on. Just, you don't need hardware. You've got hardware, like an Xbox or whatever. If you bring out a smart app, you can put it on your Amazon Stick, your Google Stick, your Samsung TV, your LG TV. Samsung and LG will snap your hand off. LG have a relationship with Xbox. Samsung have a relationship with Xbox. LG have a relationship with Xbox in terms of the gaming side of their TVs. So if you brought out a xCloud smart TV app, that's all you need to do. You don't need to waste money creating hardware. It's the 21st century, people. Anyway, that was just my thoughts on that. But I just wanted to share that little interesting insight from somebody within the industry about latency within controllers. Right. I also, while I'm here, I want to have a little shout out, ladies and gentlemen, a shout out to InLed. I think he's in the chat. I've featured InLed's here, InLed's infographics here loads of times, especially when it comes to the pro titles on this show. A, because they're really, really useful. B, they're visually very good. Great deliverers of information. So I love his work. Yeah, loving your work, man. Loving your work, InLed. Anyway, he reached 1,000 Twitter followers, which is amazing. And then he's done, look, a tweet word count here. Stadia game. Seems to be the biggest things here. Hashtags, emojis. Team Stadia. Well, that's good. There was a whole kind of bit in February, March 2021 when that went quite big. But there you go. Shout out to InLed, viewer in the channel. Make sure you follow him on Twitter because he does deliver this awesome content, which is, as I say, if you ever want to know about Stadia Pro titles, let's go to his. There we go. Look. When was this from? Can't remember. This is a while ago. Yeah, this is a while ago because we've got more than that. Oh, this is me tweeting it out ages ago, back in 2021. Yeah, because there's over 3.6K worth of 3,600 worth of, or 3,600 worth of games. If you've been Stadia Pro member from the get-go. Where's your, if I go to your bio, let's just check them out. We're doing a feature on you. All that server error. Oops. How do we get to your monitor? Oh, yeah, let's have a look. Look at this. Fun with games. April, May, 51. We flatlined there a bit. So we flatlined a bit there. That's interesting. My prediction that we'd slowly go up. Maybe it'll have another leap. I guess Deliver Us the Moon. Maybe I think a couple of titles got kicked a bit later. So maybe we'll have a little blip upwards again. We're due one. We've got to get to over 60 because I said we would 60 games in the Stadia Pro library by the end of the year. Don't want to make it out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Come on, Stadia. Up your game a bit. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. We don't need an extra 2 a month for the next few months and bingo will be there. Yeah. Anyway, special shout out, ladies and gentlemen, to InLed for his wonderful, wonderful charts. Anyway, there we go. Let's dive. Language, Timothy. Let's dive into the chat. see what you've thought, where you've been turned up by my ranty raves. That's it, Clive. You're just rude. That's unfair. You're mean and not very nice and all of that. Or, oh, it's hilarious, mate. You're hilarious. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let's go to chat. There we are. Hey, Captain, how are you? Dave, still at work? Oh, my God. Really? Jerry, hello. Purple Haze in the house. Lovely to see. Make sure you check out Purple Haze's content. I listen. Purple Haze, I listen. You know, there's insight there. There's wisdom there. Check out Purple Haze. Hey, Chariot Man Gaming. Check out Chariot Man Gaming's short videos. Are they on TikTok? Because I think I see them on either on the Instagram Reels or as YouTube Shorts. Can't remember. Anyway. Interesting games here. We need to try it out. Project Z and Vengeance. Vengeance is meant to be quite good. But Project Z, yeah. And the fact that they're giving it, the fact it says 2024 is they're not over-promising, I don't think, in terms of saying, oh, we'll have it out by the end of 23 or whatever. Which sounds like they want to give it decent development time, you know, put it decent time in the oven, as it were, yeah? So, yeah. Bri the Gamer, you and me both. It looks really good. I mean, there's a long way to go, but I'm encouraged that it's so far in the distance, which suggests that, as I say, they're going to put the work in there and stuff like that. Mr. Bayron Plays is on for it as well. If Stadia will be around by August 2024, I'll win my bet against Ace. Proof is in the playing. August 2024. Now, he's hedging his bets. If he didn't name a day earlier than that, he's hedging his bets, I think. Yeah, I'm sure you'll win that bet. Don't worry about that. You'll win the bet. That's 18 months away. So already we're telling me there's one game coming out on Stadia in this year. So on the 1st of January 2024, we'll get this week on Stadia, this year on Stadia blog. This year we'll be releasing over one game. Yeah, you'll win that bet. Exactly. Bet high. Yes. That's what I like to see, Purple Haze. Keep them receipts. Keep them receipts, Purple Haze. Urban has 304 hours into Power Rangers alone. Wow. I think one of the keys to happiness in life is having something to look forward to. Yeah. But then you might not live in the moment. Yeah. It's good to have rewards. You know it's coming. So you don't need to know what it is, I'd say, Jack, don't you? Unless that's what you meant. We know it's coming. It's like Christmas Day. As long as you've been a good boy and good girl, you know Santa's coming on Christmas Day. Yeah? That's why I love Christmas. I love surprises. Good surprises. Yeah, don't mind delays. Exactly, Jack. You do, but I have a little more than that. Oh, look, Anthony, I forgot. Right, everybody goes to Anthony after the show. You'll have to do it manually because I forgot to put your thing in the redirect, Anthony. I do apologize, but Anthony no doubt will be following this. I will be doing my Monday stream today. That's fine. Good. Make sure you jump over that. There's a couple of people in that stream who aren't in this stream or are in this stream and stay very quiet. I believe it when I see it. All I'm saying is people say Urban is a troll, but no one puts it out more hours than me. Oh, there's this competition going on about the hours. The horror. Oh, here we go. I was sporting Stadia before Cowboy. Yeah, I was into Stadia before they'd even invented it. Yeah, that kind of stuff. My dad invented Stadia. Yeah. Oh, that's sad, man. Chris lost his save on Ghost Recon. That is a bummer. It is a bummer. There's no question about it. Trying is the first step to failure. Morals would never try. Exactly. Oh, so Cool Breeze. So, I mean, it's a thing. No one's denying it's not a thing there. So Cool Breeze lost his not too many hours. Thank goodness for that. Loving it. Mr. Urban World sucks toes. Nice. Would love my save back because I never finished season 2 and love to get back to it. But also I haven't played it in at least half a year. Not sure when I actually would have. You're gaslighting the situation to not say it's a story. I'm gaslighting. An entire user base lost all their saves. It's not isolated to one fail. You're gaslighting the situation to say to not. You're gaslighting the situation to not say it's a story. An entire user base lost all their saves. It's not isolated to one failed console. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but these things happen. Although it's the first time it's sort of happened on Stadia. All I'm saying is, you know, one lark does not a summer make. Yeah? You need a pattern. That's all I'm saying. It is unfortunate. Hopefully it is the last. They'll resolve the issue. But there you go. Not sure if it is cross-platform. Andy, here we go. Andy, Andy says, how do you feel about Jedi Survivor reveal, which is apparently not coming to Stadia? Okay, so there's a difference here, isn't it? It might not come to Stadia. It hasn't been announced for Stadia. But we do have a pattern and a history of games in that when they're really early days, not being mentioned for Stadia. The classic is when they announced Resident Evil Village. There's no mention of Stadia. It's never coming to Stadia. It's not. Apparently, it's so in those words. Apparently, it's not coming to Stadia. What happened? We got Resident Evil 7 as a pro title, and day and date we got Resident Evil Village. So yeah, and as I've said before in this channel, I would be very surprised if FIFA 23 does not come to Stadia. I'll be very surprised. I'll also be very, very disappointed, and you can quote me on that. I will willingly, you admit, it's an issue if FIFA 22 doesn't come to Stadia. I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be saying it. That is a blow. Yeah, I won't sugarcoat it. So I'm not saying that Jedi Survivor, you know, is coming to Stadia, right? I wouldn't be that foolhardy. What I'm saying is it's too early to say whether it is or it isn't. Yeah. It's a potentially a port that they're going to develop for the main platform straight off, right? We know that Xbox, PlayStation 5, whatever, and PC. So Stadia have time to do a deal with EA or whatever. Situation could have changed then. We don't know. So it's not coming. It's just, it doesn't look like it's coming yet. That's all I'm going to say. And that's the approach you need to take with many games. I thought it was only all Stadia users having it. Yeah, it is, Cool Breeze. It is a Stadia issue on a particular game. There is some bug or issue that's caused it. Don't know what it is. And Ubisoft and Stadia are looking into it. A lot of games don't come to Stadia or stop coming to Stadia to get in line. Okay. I'm just being empathetic. I have seen and if I lost it all and built, I'd be super. Yeah, no, No, I'd be super peeved. I'd be super peeved. Yeah. Headline story. But I'd be peeved, yeah. I'm with, I got what you meant. Don't worry about it, Cool Breeze. I know what you meant. Mr. Urbanworld still going on about it. His gaming. Ooh. Microsoft trying to catch up to Stadia. Well, they've always sort of, you know, they have the great advantage of having the branding and the reputation and the player base. So they don't have to be a pioneer. Yeah. Stadia is very much a pioneer, and the pioneer doesn't always, you know, get the dominant market. Yeah. Being first to market doesn't necessarily mean that you own that market, you know. As we've seen, Google within the gaming space does not in any way have the reputation as Xbox or PlayStation. So, you know. Wow. Mr. Urban World, he's doing all these hours. 419. I think I've got 1,000 or something in PUBG or something like that. It is pretty colors in LED stuff. Yeah, Yoshida, arigato gozaimasu. Konbanwa. I tried Google and absolute nothing. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Just joined. Any hints on June Pro games? I'm with you there, Michael. No. Well, hints, yeah. I think The Darkest of Times, 1st of June. Yeah. That's his launch date. Could be. I think My Little Pony. An outright game. One of the games that was announced from outright games. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those. We're still waiting for Deliver Us the Moon, which should be a pro title. So if they've sorted that out, it was meant to be a pro title for what? May, wasn't it? Or was it April? Can't remember now. May, beginning of May. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully tomorrow, watch the Rock Show. And they'll sit and read the blog post when it gets launched. Another Red Dead fan. Yes, of course. I hope he's still here by August the 24th. What, me or or Project Z? Yeah, well, there we go. I didn't mean... Yeah, oh, yeah. Exactly, I'm with you. I'm with you, Jack. I'm with you, Jack. Al Gore invented Stadia. Yeah, it's in the cloud. It's the environment, yeah. I don't want the mystery. I want to know how and work out myself into a lava about what I'm potentially playing next. Yeah. So I bet you're one of these people who went looking for your Christmas presents. I was never one of those people. I used to go to school and my mates go, do you find out if you... I went searching for my Christmas presents. I found them in the cupboard. I'm getting whatever. I'm getting a skateboard. And no, I don't want to know. I accidentally discovered one of my presents and I was devastated. It was under a blanket in the boot of my dad's car. And I happened to sort of just glance at it and it was a Subutio set. And I thought, oh, that's for me, innit? Oh, damn. Oh, I didn't want to know. Hey. OAP Stadium. Welcome to the club. I was so early to Stadia. I was playing Stadia when it was just immersive stream. There we go. There we go. A bit ranty. I told you I was just in a bit of a sort of ranty mood actually today. Just this week. Yeah. Well, I think that's it. You know, I think what will happen if Stadia's not around in 2024, I think is because, unfortunately, with Third World War, World War III's kicked in. And then you'll be like struggling in the wasteland, the post-apocalyptic wasteland in a kind of Mad Max style, trying to survive, finding oil and water to live and survive and scavenge for food. And then some doofus will come up to you and go, I told you Stadia would die. I win. Yes. Radiation. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, isn't it? We know the people that'll be there. They'll come up to you with a gas mask, take it off. I told you Stadia would be dead. Anyway, on that cheerful note about the end of the world, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done. I hope, as I say, look forward to the This Week on Stadia blog. I hope it brings us some wonderful games and all of that to add to my massive back catalogue of games, my backlog of games I haven't even played from Stadia Pro yet. I hope we've got some good games there. I hope some of your predictions are right. I hope we get some surprises and all of that. I hope. Whatever, it will be a surprise. And that's always nice, except for those who like to find out what their surprises are. Anyway, why don't we do this all again, same time, same place next week, and perhaps we can discuss what those Stadia Pro titles were and what you thought of them. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you again this time next week. And don't forget, I can't redirect you to Anthony, so check him out, check out his channel. Go along and have a chat with Anthony if you want after the show. Thank you, my friends, and goodbye. I've lost me end titles. Goodbye.